In front of you, I'm holding two Yu-Gi-Oh cards. To the average person who might not know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, it might just look like I'm holding two copies of the exact same card. However, this card in my left hand is $10, and this card in my right hand is about $50,000. But before I can tell you how I got this card, we need to go back to the beginning. Yu-Gi-Oh has been an incredibly big part of my life. Some of my earliest, fondest memories growing up as a kid were waking up on a Saturday morning, running down to my TV to watch the newest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh at 9 a.m. There was nothing more exciting to me growing up as a kid, watching Yugi and Kaiba and Joey, seeing Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon, seeing Dark Magician Girl, and seeing the many adventures that Yugi and the gang went on. Yu-Gi-Oh is something that's been captivating me for over 15 years, and I just don't know why. So what is it about, Yu-Gi-Oh culture, the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, specifically like the Duel Monsters era, that has not only been so iconic to people all around the world, but has stayed alive now 20 years later?
That specific era, that like kind of Duelist Kingdom, Battle City, Duel Monsters thing, it has so much staying power. And like for me personally, I think a lot of the reason is because it was that period where like you could identify so closely with like a certain character or a certain deck or card or strategy.
Like the thing that stands out to me most about Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game is that the cards were actually used in the anime. Like you see Yugi summoning Dark Magician. You see him pulling out the Dark Magician from the duel disc.
It introduced this fantasy-like world where, you have cards that you see on the screen and you can buy those same cards like tangibly in real life. And I think the allure of that itself was just enough for myself and the plethora of people out there to really dive deep into the game.
It's unique because they actually play the game that you play. Like they play with the cards, and then you yourself, you collect those exact same cards and you play with them.
I don't know if you remember the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Kaiba walks into the card shop and he has like a whole briefcase and he shows like, "Grandpa, give me the blue eyes." Like I can feel what Kaiba feels because like we actually experience that when we go into a card shop.
It made every duel feel super memorable because like the stakes were higher and it just, you kind of knew what everybody was gunning for. There were people searching for the Egyptian god cards, and there were people who were just kind of in the tournament like as a thing, and
it just really made you really wonder like, man, power of friendship really can do amazing things.
It's no secret that I love Yu-Gi-Oh! However, like all trading card games, we can't not address the elephant in the room. Money. We've seen in recent years, since the pandemic especially, a massive boom in collectibles, and this is no exception when it comes to trading cards. We see Pokemon cards like skyrocketing in price, with figures like Logan Paul making headlines. He spent hundreds of thousands, if not millions, on graded Pokemon cards or sealed first edition base set boxes. Do you think that this boom in Pokemon has sort of seen like a trickle-down effect into Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, almost certainly.
Oh yeah, 100%. Ever since that big boom with Logan Paul, I think all trading card games went up. Not only did Pokemon went up, but sports went up. Yu-Gi-Oh went up.
Yeah, definitely. Especially last year around when he did his first booster box break of the first edition box, and it had like over 500,000 live viewers, and like everyone was watching, and people were just buying stuff right after that.
Usually, people would say one of the rarest, most sought after Pokemon cards is, the base set first edition Charizard. Do you think that Yu-Gi-Oh has an equivalent to the base set first edition Charizard? And if so, what would that be?
But the only card that we do have as an equivalent, unironically, is also a dragon in the form of Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Blue Eyes would definitely have to be it. There's other stuff that might come close, but I would have it say Blue Eyes pretty easily takes the cake.
Obviously, characteristics wise, Charizard is it's a dragon. So obviously, if you compare, like an easy comparison is going to be obviously the Blue Eyes White Dragon first edition LOB.
LOB Blue Eyes is very similar to the Charizard, as you do have to pull it from a booster box. But it is a lot harder to pull than the Charizard, because the Charizard is about 12 hollows every base set box, which is so 15 total hollows, 12 out of 15, you get 80% chance to pull that thing. With the Blue Eyes, is actually a lot harder than the Charizard, which a lot of people don't realize. The Blue Eyes is 2 Ultras every 10 in LOB, and it's just an Ultra, so it's 1 out of every 10. So you got a 10% chance for each Ultra. You got 2 chances, you got a 20% chance. So you could bear a 20% chance per box to an 80% chance per box. People will pull 1, even 2 Charizards in a box. Blue Eyes has never been pulled out of a booster box on camera.
I just knew that I had to grab myself an LOB First Edition Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I managed to actually find one from a seller in Australia. This is it right here. It's actually in fantastic condition, and someday I hope to get it graded by PSA, and hopefully it can score a pretty high grade. So that's it, right? The video's over. I found one of the rarest cards in the game. That was until I decided to open my stupid mouth and ask a question that I knew I would sorely regret. Are there any other cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That are rarer than a LOB First Edition Blue Eyes White Dragon? Like, what could be rarer than that?
Players don't receive cash prizes when they win events. So in order to circumvent this, Konami has basically they'll provide like, different things like maybe a game console, but the really big draw are prize cards.
This is when I found out about some of the rarest cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. The prize cards. I knew that I wanted to learn more about these elusive and extremely rare prize cards, and found out that the only way to receive these cards was through winning them at one of the most competitive and prestigious tournaments, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series, aka the YCS.
A YCS, it stands for Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series. These are basically kind of the mecca event of Yu-Gi-Oh! Hundreds, in many cases thousands of players out, and it's just a really big tournament.
2,000 to 3,000 people every single time. And players compete, in a 2-day tournament, ranging between 9 to 13 rounds of round robin before we head off to the playoffs, which is usually a top 64 or a top 32.
You're playing against the best of the best players, playing the best of the best decks, right? You need to be the winner. And even the second runner-up, if I'm not mistaken, albeit it's not money, it's definitely sometimes has even more monetary value than just any cash prizing involved, right?
A lot of players come out for this. You have the best of the best playing, working, like testing out strategies to try and compete at the highest level and to secure first place, which is, the ultra prize card.
The first place winner would get an ultra rare version of a prize card. And maybe everybody in the top 4 or perhaps top 8, if it's like a larger one, will get that same prize card, though it will be super rare.
And the third and second will get the super rare version of the prize card, whereas the first place winner will get the ultra rare version of the prize card.
So they're extremely hard to get. Like, you're thinking 2,000 players, like 8 people get one of these. And these don't happen all the time. They happen like once every month, maybe.
But the ultra rare prize card, if the winner were to win that, it is worth a lot of money.
The ultra rare one could be worth a little or a lot more than the super rare ones. And of course, winning this prize card, you have to win it. So it isn't really something that you can pull from a pack. It isn't a promo that you can get.
They're not being printed so that you can open in a box, like you have to work for these cards.
They're much, much rarer. There's not thousands of these. These are hundreds or 100 or even less on some of them.
The ultra rare versions are really highly sought after. Like, I don't even remember when the last time I saw an ultra rare Minerva. That thing was a beauty, and I've never seen that thing in the market.
And you're not gonna find this in your basement or in your attic or anything. You got to be good at Yu-Gi-Oh! And you got to win something.
When I found out about the existence of these extremely rare prize cards, I was immediately hooked. And I now set my new goal to try and obtain just one of these ultra rare prize cards. At the time of recording this video, there are currently about 12 different YCS prize cards, but the one I'm wanting to go for is none other than the ultra rare prize card Minerva the Exalted Lightsworn. Minerva was the prize card that was given at YCS tournaments between the years 2015 and 2016. In this time, there were about 14 YCS events, meaning in theory, only 14 ultra rare Minervas exist on planet Earth. I'm screwed. I had no idea where to start looking for this card. However, there was one person that came to mind who I think just might have this card. Darn lift is not working. I guess it's the stairs. Good to see you, Robbie.
Good to see you.
How are you? This is Rabbi Robbie. He's not actually a rabbi.
How are you?
Let's get the spread. Yeah. Is that for me, one of those coffees? Ah. Alright, so the goal is we're going to one of the best collectors in Australia, who I think, if we're lucky, there might be a chance that he actually owns the ultra rare Minerva. He said he has some prize cards, so we're gonna see his collection. It should be a doozy. I don't know, do you reckon he'll have it?
I mean, we're exhausting all options here, but if there's anyone in this country that knows where to get that card, it's Poe for sure.
Yeah, I think we might be lucky, so fingers crossed everyone. Hopefully he has some nice looking cardboard. We're here at Strike One Collectibles in New South Wales, Ashfield, because I think I might have found someone who might have the ultra rare Minerva I'm looking for. But fingers crossed, let's hope he has it. Let's go see what stuff he has.
Missing someone.
Poe, how's it going? Good to see you, good to see you. Let's talk some bizzo, shall we? So quick context. This is Poe Jang. He's widely considered to have one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh card collections in Australia. On top of this, he's an accomplished competitive player who actually won the World Championship qualifier for Oceania in 2018. Finding and locating one of these ultra rare Minervas I know is nearly an impossible feat, but if there's anyone in the country that might have it, it's gonna be Poe.
Hopefully we find what you're looking for soon.
So, do you sort of see like Yu-Gi-Oh cards as like an appreciating asset? Like,
I've been collecting for probably 5-6 years, and the return has definitely been one of the better ones.
oh jeez, just this binder alone would be like if someone had to like say, what's a figure?
To be honest, I haven't counted for a while. Like a lot of the missing ones are in my deck currently. Maybe about 50. 60,000.
50, 60, wow. I've been looking into like YCS prize cards, but apparently they're just so rare that just like no one can find.
The thing about YCS prize cards is, especially in Australia, we only get one YCS per year. So realistically, we can only obtain a few.
What are we looking at on this page right here, Poe?
You're currently looking at YCS super version of the prize cards. These are pretty rare to come by. During every YCS, I believe 2 are given out to 2nd and 3rd place, and also with our Oceanic Championships, 16 are given out. These are definitely much more manageable than the ultra rare, but still very, very hard to find.
So what you're basically saying is I'm screwed when I'm trying to find an ultra rare Minerva.
I honestly wish you luck, but there's definitely maybe a chance out there you could find it.
How much rarer is a ultra rare versus super?
Much rarer, since only one ultra rare is given out. Basically, the price difference is probably about 10 to 15 times price difference.
10 to 15 times. Yeah. Just because it has like some gold letters. Some
yeah.
gold letters.
These are some very
Same
expensive
card.
gold letters.
What the heck? Okay. Well, if you of all people don't happen to own an Ultra Rare Minerva in Australia, I think I'm screwed. I think I'm gonna have to start looking overseas.
That's probably your best bet.
Thank you so much anyway. I'm screwed. Alright. It looks like we weren't able to find an Ultra Rare Minerva, and if Poe doesn't have one, I don't think I'm gonna find one in my country. I guess it's back to the lab for me. The trail went cold. For about 3 weeks, I had lost all hope and thought it simply wasn't going to be possible to find the ultra rare Minerva. So, in a last-ditch effort and final resort, I did what any desperate person would do when searching for expensive cardboard. Make a Facebook post on a high-end Yu-Gi-Oh! Collectors Facebook group, and with that, my fate landed in the hands of God. So, a person by the name of Peter Ziegler has just reached out to me, saying that apparently he has an ultra rare BGS graded 9.5 Minerva. I didn't know if he was being real or not, or if he was maybe a scammer, but then he sent me a timestamp. So I asked him how much he wanted it. He said 40,000 US dollars. So I said okay. And now we wait for the scariest DHL parcel shipment in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. Apparently the card arrives in 7 days from now. The next 7 days, I'm just gonna be nail-biting, hoping, and praying it doesn't get lost in shipment. So I guess I'll see you guys when it arrives. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I didn't think it was actually going to happen, but it arrived today. I am so scared and nervous to open this package right now, as for all I know I could be scammed and have just lost 50,000 Australian dollars. If you want to see me unboxing this, you can click the link in the description below. I've actually made an ASMR video where I unbox this card and talk a little bit more about it. Otherwise, I'll see you in a second. In 3, 2, 1. I can't actually believe that I'm holding this card in my hand right now. I don't think I will ever sell this card, ever. Not only is this card a 10-year investment at least for me, but I'm sick of putting my money into depreciating assets, and I frankly want to buy something that is timeless, priceless, and extraordinarily rare. As far as I know, I'm the only person in Australia that owns one of these ultra rare Minervas. So I hope I don't get robbed. Time to put this in a bank. I'm extremely grateful to be able to own a monumental piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History in my hands. I don't think this is a card, like I said, that I will ever sell. I really hope you enjoyed this video, especially if you're someone who is new to Yu-Gi-Oh! And doesn't know absolutely anything about it. I hope that this video was entertaining, and I hope that you learned a lot from it. I also want to give a huge thanks and shout out to all of the different content creators that featured in this video. Let's roll the outro. Thank you all so much for watching, and please check out some of these Yu-Gi-Tubers, links in the description down below. And with that said, I'll see you next time.
Yeah, so for anybody who wants to, we have a YouTube channel. It's Team APS. Just spell it out like that. And we're also on social media.
You can find me on Team Samurai X1 on YouTube. I post videos basically almost every day. You're expecting to post 5 times a week, and that's pretty much it, man.
You can find me on YouTube. I'm Bruxton34. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram, same name. So just go check those out. That'd be awesome. And thanks for having me on, man. It was awesome.
I'm usually on YouTube under Pack TCG, and I also stream on Twitch if you're interested in learning how to play the game on a more competitive level at twitch.tv/PackTCG. And that's pretty much it. I also do coaching, all this other stuff too.
If you head over to YouTube and type in head-to-head battles, you guys can check out some really dope Yu-Gi-Oh vlogs, as well as some deck profiles and some new Master Duels content. And if you guys want to see me clapping JoJo's cheeks live, you guys can head over to twitch.tv/head-to-head battles, where we do stream some Master Duels and Yu-Gi-Oh content as well.